Well, yo ho ho, and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football, in a new surrounding. We've been working on this. Big shout out to my partner in crime, Robin, and I'm Batman, or the Draughty Devil, and Mark Goldbridge, as we are normally known. I hope you're doing well. This is a big game tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. Manchester City visit Chelsea, and as a Man United fan, as a Liverpool fan, they're top of the league, but we've got the same points. That's basically how I'm describing it now, because people are gripping their shit about this whole, you're not top, you're not joint top, you're second, you haven't got the same goal difference. So the way I describe it is Manchester United have got the same points as Liverpool, who are top. That's how I announced that. But I think we would both look at the league table and say, you know what, it's Man City are a threat. If they win their 2 games in hand, they're a point behind Liverpool. They're a point behind Manchester United. Manchester United, who have got the same points as Liverpool, who are top. So I want Chelsea to do something today. I think also in the context of the league, I want Chelsea to do something today. We saw Spurs yesterday. They got a win. They're 4 points off the top. They've got Liverpool to play at the end of the month. We know Man United are playing Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time. We've got Chelsea against Man City today. I feel that it's I feel that it's an interesting game in that sense, and I also do feel that Manchester City are very much in this title race. There's no doubt about that. And love the background, says Harry LB. Yeah, I think, you know what, me and Draughty had a few disagreements about this. I was like, but I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's vibrant and it matches my personality. Purple. But no, I do like it, and I like the new theme. I love the new thumbnail, so big shout out to him. And I've said many a time, I'm Elton John and he's Bernie Turpin or whatever he thinks. You know, Elton John and this other guy, who I can't remember their name, they basically work as a team. And obviously I'm on the piano like Elton John, and that's the only similarities between me and Elton John. We've both got a piano. I'm front of house delivering with all the razzmatazz. And then you've got Draughty behind me. As I said, nothing to do with Elton John. That's nothing to do with it. With everything else. So it looks really good. But anyway, let's get on with the team news. I'm up for this. I hope we're all up for this. I'm up for this one today. Leicester are beating Newcastle 2-1. So actually, you know what? We're being dismissive of Leicester. We're being dismissive of Leicester at your peril. Leicester are up to 3rd place if they hold on here, and they've only got a minute left to go. They go to 32 points. They have played a game more than Manchester United and Liverpool, but they go to 32 points. So Leicester still very much in the race. But Manchester City, Chelsea, both on 26 points. Chelsea got to get something here today. Man City, let's go through the teams then. So Mendy in goal for Chelsea, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Thiago Silva and Chilwell. I think that's established that's probably their best back 4 apart from Reece James. Kovacic, Kante. I really do rate Kovacic, but last couple of times I've seen him, he's not played that well. Same for Kante. And then he's gone with Mount, Ziyech, Werner and Pulisic, which I personally think is probably his best 4 in the absence of form from Kai Havertz. So Abraham's on the bench, Jorginho's on the bench, Rudiger's on the bench, Hudson-Odoi, Gilmour, Havertz, Emerson. So Ziyech back for Chelsea could be big for Chelsea. And I think when you look at Chelsea this season, what's going wrong with Chelsea? Maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. 26 points. If they win this, they go 29 points. But they've played a game more than Spurs, who would be on 29 points. And they've played a game more than Man United. So they're a long way off at the moment, Chelsea. They need to get the win. Manchester City, they've got Stefan in goal. No Ederson. Cancelo, Stones, Ruben Diaz, Zinchenko. No Mendy. Gundogan, Rodri and De Bruyne as their midfield 3, with Bernardo Silva, Foden and Sterling. Aguero's on the bench, Mendy on the bench, Fernandinho on the bench, Mahrez on the bench. But obviously that's how they're going to line up, because that's just the way it is. Thanks for the super chat from Lalanas in Pyjamas. Lampard gets an easy ride because he's English. Relegation Arsenal only 3 points behind in a way to be derogatory to them. I really don't. But I do think that when it comes to Chelsea, just refresh. I think we've got a problem here. Don't know what it is. Let's have a look. Same thing happened yesterday. It's absolutely fine at my end. Absolutely fine. Must be a YouTube issue. I've got my internet speed is 480 download and 32 upload. So it's not my internet. So It's absolutely fine. It's back now. I think it just drops out, in and out, doesn't it? So there you go. We're back. Thank you very much. I'm not on McDonald Wi-Fi, Ronaldo. In fact, you can do one. I'm only joking. I'm not going to do that. The buffer was mad. What I was talking about was Frank Lampard. Is that the worst thing I can say to Chelsea is that at the start of the season, I predicted that you would come second. Then when you got through your bad patch at the start of the season, I felt that Chelsea would get in a title race coming into December, and then they just capitulated. You know, I've seen Turkeys have a better December than Chelsea. They were terrible, and they've put themselves in a situation now where I would really expect. Look, this is the ultimate put down for Chelsea, and it may come back to haunt me because this season is like that. And I suppose the optimism I would give Chelsea is you can get back in a title race. Of course you can. People are dropping points left, right, and centre, so you can definitely get back into it. But I do think that I'm not threatened by Chelsea. I would be happy for Chelsea to win today, and because Man City would drop points, and that's how I feel about Chelsea at the moment. I really don't fear them at all. I don't. I mean, they're 7 points off United. They'll win today, but we've got that game in hand. So as long as we keep winning, we're 7 points ahead of Chelsea, which is, it's not catastrophic. It's not the end for Chelsea, but it's big. It's a big gap, that is. And of course, we've got to play Chelsea. But I always like to look at their next few fixtures for these teams. And when you look at Chelsea's next few fixtures, they've obviously got FA Cup next week, Fulham away, Leicester away, Wolves at home, Burnley at home. And you'd expect maybe Chelsea to go and do something against those teams. And they need to. They need to. Whereas for Manchester City, you know, as I said, I don't want them going on a good run, because those 2 games in hand are against crap teams, aren't they, really? They've got Brighton after this at home in the league. Then they've got Palace at home in the league. Then they've got Villa at home in the league. Then they've got West Brom away and Sheffield United at home. I expect Man City to win their next 5 games. In fact, they've got Burnley after that, 6 games. I think City could win their next six league games before they play Liverpool. Then they play Tottenham. Then they play Arsenal. Then they play, So I think this is the last opportunity for Manchester City to win a game. To lose points. I think they're going to go and win their next 5 or 6 games in the Premier League, and anybody who does that is in a title race, aren't they? So for me, Man City are a big fear factor when it comes to this Premier League title. Having said that, I'd rather they won it than Liverpool. So I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted as a United fan, because I want us to be in a title race, but don't think we can. And therefore, I don't want City to get anywhere near us. But then if we fail, I want them to take it away from Liverpool. So the draw would be a good result, I think. But we would just have to wait and see. Anyway, we're currently 16 minutes away from kickoff, and we've done the team news. What are your score predictions, Mark? Thanks for the super chats that have come in already. I think there was one. There definitely was. It was Lalana's in pyjamas. And there's another one from Harry Gillam. He says, Harry Gillingham, Chelsea need this. Frank Jobs on the line, win. They have their best team out apart from Reece James. Werner needs to score for confidence. I think Chelsea will win. Chelsea need to give Frank time. You know what? Can I just say, I like Lampard. This is not a shock to people on this channel. I do like Lampard. I want them to get something today from a selfish United point of view. But I don't mind Chelsea. I mean, personally, I'm glad Spurs are sort of in a title race. I'd like to see Chelsea in a title race as well. They're going to have to work hard to get back in a title race. But, the more teams improve in this league, the better league that we've got. And I like Lampard. I don't want Arteta to get the sack at Arsenal. I don't want Lampard to get the sack at Chelsea. And obviously, I don't want Solskjaer to get sacked. So I like Lampard. I never used to like him as a player. When he did a bit of punditry after he retired, he grew on me. I thought, he's actually quite a decent bloke from what the way he comes across. And I think he's quite passionate in a Chelsea shirt, which I don't, I know it's annoying, when he was being petulant towards Klopp and everything, but you want that in a manager. So, but I just don't know what Chelsea fans think. Get us in the live comments if you're a Chelsea fan. What do you feel about Lampard? Is he ultimately going to be good enough? I don't know. But but I want to see a good game today. I've been looking forward to this one. I was gutted when they cancelled Fulham versus Burnley. I'd arranged my whole weekend around Fulham against Burnley, and I was gutted. And then I remembered this was on. I thought, it's not a bad second best, is it? You know, Dyche against Parker. You've got the sort of Poundland version, Pep versus Lampard. I'm taking the piss, by the way. If you don't understand sarcasm, I have not lost my mind. I'm taking the piss. But I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope it's going to be a good game. So, you know, and I hope Chelsea gets something out of it. I think if Man City gets something out of it, they're very dangerous. They're very dangerous indeed. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it very much. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're on that road to 300k. 282 at the moment. And thanks everyone who tuned in for my match reaction yesterday. So what I've started doing this year is I do watch-alongs, and I did a watch-along yesterday for Tottenham against Leeds, but then straight after that I record a little 7-minute match reaction. So if you want to see a sort of concise match reaction, when I've done watch-alongs, I will do a little match reaction that I'll upload a few minutes after I finish. So thanks everyone for tuning in on that. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and you can get your notifications for this channel. FIFA Career Mode will be back this week. Really enjoying that, playing on Ultimate or on competitive mode. And tomorrow night I'm doing another watch-along, Southampton against Liverpool. The great thing about being in a title race is you watch way more football. I mean, I watch a lot of football anyway, but the great thing about being in a title race is I watch a hell of a lot more football. You know, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Southampton tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm excited. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Here's a good question from Ishmael. He says, Mark, are you single, mate? Mate, just look at this face. Does this look like a face that's using its hand? Come on, I'm not single. Come on, let's be honest. You know, I'm being sarcastic. I'm excited. When I'm excitable, I do... you know, my mouth runs away with me. As a Chelsea fan, I don't think Lampard has it long term, says All Sandwich 05. Well, the interesting thing about that is that I think you're probably in the same boat as we are as Manchester United fans then. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man to win a Premier League title. But with every passing game, I'm moving towards maybe he is. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. The evolvement of the evolution, should I say, because I'm going to talk about that on the 8 o'clock show tonight. It's a good word. Lampard was never brought in to win you a title. Solskjaer was never brought in to win us a title. And Arteta was never brought in to win Arsenal a title. They are all three managers that are there to evolve and grow the club because the clubs need growing. And therefore, the whole basis of that is that they get better as the team gets better. And we've definitely seen that with Solskjaer. I think the difference between Lampard, Solskjaer and Arteta is that Lampard's got the best board, he's got the best players, and he's got the most supportive board. Arteta and Solskjaer struggle with these owners who are, you know, don't really want to spend money, but Lampard does. But the problem with that is you can't compare Solskjaer with Lampard or Arteta with Lampard, because Solskjaer and Arteta do not get what Lampard gets. Lampard's had very good support, especially last summer. So Lampard gets a little bit more pressure on him, but then as everybody said in the press, he doesn't get as much pressure as Arteta or Solskjaer. So swings and roundabouts. I think it's, you know, looking forward to seeing Phil Foden tonight as well. We're wearing the same jumper. That's mad, says you in black. I love this jumper. I just haven't worn it for ages because it's been all Christmas, hasn't it? So I've basically got two jumpers on. I hope so. Anyway, I don't want to flash my boobs. I've got this one on as well. Oh, it's just plain black. That's not right. That's not right. No, it's not. Look, it's a bit high. Oh. I don't know why I'm showing you another jumper, but I have got two jumpers on anyway. English bias from the press towards Lampard, says Mario G. So get your comments in. What's your thoughts on the game? We're 10 minutes away from kickoff. What's your thoughts on the game? Give us your score predictions if you want. And you know, also, I mean, actually, I was just thinking about this. Is there not more similarities between Lampard and Pep than there are between Lampard and a Solskjaer or a Arteta? Because Pep gets total backing from his board as well. So, you know, Chelsea are a club that didn't really exist 15 years ago and got a rich owner. Man City are a club that didn't really exist 10 years ago and got a rich owner. Chelsea and Man City are probably more comparable in similarities. Whereas I think United, Liverpool, Arsenal, they have the history, they have the uneasy ownership structure, which is probably a little bit more about business than it is about just spending any old money. So, interesting game. I hope there's a lot of goals. Neil Fish says 3-3 would be good. I would love to see there be loads of goals. Of course I would. But And I like Werner. I like Timo Werner. You know, it's interesting, isn't it? I don't really run with these. I used to do it. Everybody knows I used to do it, but I don't. I just try to be I mean, that's the whole point of this channel, really. It's for everybody. But I do try to consume my football in a more level-headed way now. You know, I had a bit of a run-in with Zane on the United Stand this afternoon because he's coming at us going, Xhaka's better than Greenwood, this, that and the other. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really consume my football like that. I know what I like. It doesn't matter whether it's at another club. I wanted Manchester United to get Timo Werner. I think he's a very, very good player. I can't guarantee he's going to be a good Premier League player, but I think he will. I think he will hit the ground running. I really like Ziyech. Ziyech was a player that, you know, anybody worth their salt as a football fan knew about Ziyech way before he became a Chelsea player at Ajax. He was a player that Arsenal were interested in. United got linked to. I think even Man City got linked to them. Liverpool probably did, and Chelsea got him. So he's a good player. I like Kovacic. Manchester City, Phil Foden. I think he's a very good up-and-coming player. Interesting player to keep an eye on. So, you know, I've always admired Aguero. I like Mahrez. You know, Laporte's a good player as well. So, you know, it's... You know, I don't want Man City to win anything. I don't want Chelsea to win anything. But I can respect the players that they've got, and they've got some good players. I hate the Glazers, but in fairness, Ollie has spent more than Lampard, although I sort of agree with you, says Zed Jamie. Yeah, you know, I agree with you, Zed Jamie, there. I think people who come in and say, you can't say that Lampard's been backed more than Ollie. Well, I can, because I look at last summer. You know, Manchester United and Chelsea finished on the same points, I think, but we got third because we had a better goal difference. You do that, you finished third, joint third, and you expect your board to allow you... Because Liverpool and Man City have been the best teams in the Premier League for the last 2 or 3 years, haven't they? So if Chelsea and Man United finish third and fourth, you expect your board to give you the funds to try and close the gap on them. And Zed Jamie's right. I'm sure Ollie's had more money than Lampard. Definitely net spend he has. But when it mattered last summer... Lampard probably got too much backing. I think probably part of the problem Chelsea have had this season is they've had too many players. And I remember talking about this in the summer. You can have too many players, but as a fan and a manager, you're never going to say, Roman, stop giving me these players. I've got way too much already. You're going to say, yeah, keep giving me them. But it can be a problem, and I think it has been a problem for Chelsea, especially Havertz. You know, we're now nearly halfway through the season, and Havertz is still a bench player. So there is a problem getting those players used to the team. But you know, as I said, United finished on the same points, effectively joint third with Chelsea. Chelsea get a low... You notice what I'm doing now? You notice what I'm doing? Realistically, we finished third and Chelsea finished fourth. But what I'm doing now is I'm saying we finished joint third. And you know why I'm saying we finished joint third? Because we're joint first. But we're not really. We're second because of goal difference. So I'm trying it on. See if you'll let me slip it through. But the reality... That's what she said. But the reality is we finished third. They finished fourth. Chelsea backed their manager to support their manager to try and close the gap on Man City and Liverpool. Man United didn't back Solskjaer. We didn't, you know. And people can say, well, you got Cavani, last minute desperation, and I'm glad it worked. Van der Beek, Ollie didn't even bloody want him. And Pellistri and the other lads, well, one of them's not here yet. One of them's isn't ready yet. And Tellez, good backup left back, good first team left back, whatever. But it wasn't what we needed. We needed a centre back and a right winger, and we didn't get it. And you just you just have to say that, you know, whatever you think, he has been backed. Lampard has been backed. I mean, what did Lampard get? He got a goalkeeper, he got a centre back, he got a left back, he got an attacking midfielder, he got a striker, he got a right winger. That's just off the top of my head, 6 players. All of which you could argue are first-team footballers. So, interesting. Andrew C says, Mark, I hate AFTV to the core. Flip-flop fans, fickle fan base. 1 minute Arteta out. Now DT boasting they're closing up to top, then relegation, says Andrew C. Mark, don't watch Liverpool tomorrow. You'll jinx it, says Sarab. Well, I'm watching it. Liverpool fans will be happy. Do you think Chelsea will sign Declan Rice in January, says Akil? I mean, they probably will. Just on Arsenal, you know, not all Arsenal fans are bad. They're not all bad. I don't listen to DT enough to know what his stance was, but he certainly wasn't one of the ones who was wearing an Arteta out t-shirt. I'm not 100% sure he actually was Arteta out. And if he isn't Arteta out, maybe he's one of those Arsenal fans, which I agree with, and it's what I basically said, that you you've got to be patient and give them a bit of time. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. But Arsenal fans just need to be patient. Keep your nose out of the beehive. You know, you're not in a title race. This beehive says title race on it. And inside that beehive, you've got Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Spurs, maybe even Leicester, possibly Chelsea if they win today. Not Arsenal. So Arsenal need to focus on steps forward, not bloody running marathons. You know, you've got to walk steps before you can run a marathon. And I think if Arsenal fans are patient, like we have been with Solskjaer, it's been a difficult couple of years, really. You can't expect to do what we've done in 2 years in a few months, really. And Arteta has only been there a year, and 3 months of that were lockdown, weren't they? And he straddled 2 seasons, so it's a different story there. But I mean, let's not bring Arsenal into a discussion about titles. It's not fair on them. All right, Mark, the difference between Ollie and Frank is Frank got all his number 1 targets, says Stuart Hall. And I think that's what, one thing I would say about Chelsea, superb at transfer business, absolutely superb. And I think people really appreciate that. Whether they've succeeded on the pitch, they have been superb at that. Please subscribe if you're new. Well, subscribe bottom right hand corner. And I'm just going to have a check what we're on subscribers wise, because we're getting close to kick-off. We're 200 subscribers away from 282,500. So let's see if we can hit that on the show today. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We've got over 10,000 watching before kickoff, which is absolutely fantastic. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Remember, this channel, everybody's welcome. And we've got lots and lots planned over this year like we did last year. So we just go strength to strength. Hopefully we'll get a Euros this season as well, because the last time we had a major tournament, we virtually did a watch-along for every game. Lalana's in pyjamas says, DT has always been Arteta in. Robbie and the others weren't questioning Arteta. DT was always behind Arteta. And do you ever watch any American college football? I'm rooting for the University of Alabama to win the national title, says Kenneth Hoagland. I don't. So there we go. I'm being honest. But score predictions, I haven't done mine. My score prediction today is... That's meant to be a drum roll. It sounds like I'm having a fit. My predictions for today's game is... I haven't even thought of it. I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2 draw. You never predict a draw. It's so hard to predict a draw. But I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. And I'm going to say... Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. 2-2 to City. It's a draw. I'm taking a piss. So, yeah. Timer will be ready to go, yes. Would you take Reece James or Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says Harry Gillam? You know what? On this season's form, I would probably take Reece James. I think Wan-Bissaka this season has been not that great. But there we go. I'm just stopping and starting the timer here, making sure that it works. Fine, that works. It works. Right, let's go. 2-2. I'm going to go with plastic clubs, says Byron. Do you rate Wijnaldum, says Leo Swinton? I do rate Wijnaldum. I sort of rate Wijnaldum like I used to rate Ander Herrera at United. I think he's a man. He is a man. He's a man. Wijnaldum. That's why I rate him. No, that's really sexist. That's not what I'm saying. He's a man who, great album by Travis. He is a man who reminds me of Ander Herrera, who rivals don't like, but he's definitely not a woman. I don't think he's not a woman. He's a man who isn't really appreciated by people outside of the club, but in the club they know what he does. And he may not be, the most glamorous of player, but he's very important to Liverpool. So I do like him, yeah. What does Ollie have to do to get the media off his back, says Mo. Just keep doing what he's doing, mate. Keep doing what he's doing. For some reason, the media are always going to, go in on Arteta and Ollie. I think it's going to be very hard for them, Al Plastico kicking off, says Barath. Al Plastico. Oh, you make me laugh. You make me laugh. Anyway, we have kicked off. Let's see how this game's going to go. My prediction is a 2-2. Chelsea need something. I mean, realistically, everybody is absolutely right. If Chelsea were to lose this game today, they would put themselves in a really horrible position where if results went against them, they could end up in 10th very, very quickly. And Arsenal would only be 3. I mean, you know you're in trouble when Arsenal are only 3 points behind you. That's all I'm going to say. Chelsea need to win for United, as Mace Crafter plays. Chelsea need to win for themselves. Yeah, they do. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted Connor Leach. It's not really anything amazing. He's just saying that the Atalanta manager has said that Diallo will probably leave. Good show. Would be a transfer overall show on here, says Malik. Yeah, we probably will do stuff like that this month if there's any big signings for any other clubs. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'll write that down. I mean, I'm not going to do a show because Ched Evans signs for Preston. But, yeah, if Declan Rice goes to Chelsea or something, that'd be interesting. Do you think there are going to be any big transfers this January? I mean, Liverpool need a centre-back. Arsenal need about 10 players. Man City, I think they'll stick with what they've got, even though they probably could get somebody in if they wanted to. Spurs have been linked to Sabitzer. Man United need a centre-back. I think this January transfer window is a weird one because in many ways you can think it's going to be a quiet one, but then in another way, it's never been so open. If you actually made I mean, you know what, actually, if I was Leicester or Southampton, I'd be thinking 1 or 2 decent signings from the French league, we could maybe get top 4. It's that sort of a season, isn't it? Jez Bish says, I've just smashed the like button. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. I have an early stretch out here. You can appreciate the studio. Cracking work by Draughty. Oh, yeah. That's good. Brennan says it could be a 0-0 snooze fest. It could be a 0-0 snooze fest. I don't care if it is, because that would be a point, but I don't think it will. Happy New Year, Mark. Have a look into a game called Phasmophobia. Good little gem. Can't believe Man United's form lately. Good to see, says the Royal Mail X. I have seen that game, Phasphobia or whatever, and was gonna play it before Christmas. What do you predict the 5 biggest Premier League transfers will be this window, says Tom? This window. I don't know. I really don't know. And would West Ham let Declan Rice go? That's a good point. But I just want to say as well, after a little bit of a scare last week, well done Man City for getting back to play this game, because I think we thought when that game against Everton got cancelled last Monday, oh, here we go again. And it's good, apart from Fulham, that teams in the Premier League, we're getting games on again, which is good. I reckon all the business will be done on youngsters. Stealing from the Championship seems to be the usual January trend, says Cryogen Gaming. Thanks for the super chat there. You can do that through the $sign if you want to, and we'll read those out. But please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Do the Leeds impression, Mark, says Ryan. Oh. He's having a fucking laugh. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. It's a back pass to the goalkeeper. And he's picked it up. But you never see this anymore. He's having a fucking laugh. It's Anthony Taylor. It's a back pass from his own half, really, by Rodrigo. And the keeper's picked it up and he's given the back pass. I've got to say, Anthony Taylor's the referee. This could be a really interesting watch-along. Because he is, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, you can make your own up, he is crap. But they've got a free kick here, just inside the box, quite central. So it'll be indirect because it's I don't know whether Mount's talking to Chilwell about the free kick or he's telling him how good The Crown is on Netflix, but he's very animated. Ziyech's getting involved. It's fucking shit. Anyway, it is a free kick. You never see this. You never see an indirect free kick. Why is it on the edge of the box? Is he giving it for a handball then? How can the free kick not be in the box for a back pass? You know what I'm saying? Ziyech goes for a corner. I don't understand why the ball was not in the box when it was a back pass that he picked up. So that'd be a handball, which it wasn't. Who's got the dustiest trim in the Prem, says Tom. I don't really look at people's. You're talking to somebody who's had the same haircut for, I came out the womb with this haircut, so I don't really look at people's haircuts. I like my haircuts. The only person I used to be jealous of haircut wise footballers was Beckham. And another corner here, Werner with the front post flick. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please smash a like, subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and remember we're doing Liverpool Southampton tomorrow night as well. So lots to get involved in January. Thing about Christmas is it's a really good time of the year, and it's cleared. It's a really good time of the year. We get full of excitement, and then it can drop off in January, but not if you like football. Football is the saviour after Christmas because January is brilliant. You've got a transfer window, loads of games. The league starts to hot up. You've got cup football as well, FA Cup and Premier League. Carabao Cup, and Chelsea nearly in there. It's going end to end here at the moment. Switch to Timo Werner on the right hand side. 3 versus 2. He's on his own. Not a bad cross, but they've cleared it well there, and it's going end to end at the moment. If that's Man City's end and that's Chelsea's end, it's going like that. Good start. Luke Withers says, I wish you had your haircut. I can describe the details. If you get a pen and paper, I can give you the instructions for my haircut. It's very easy. Mark, you're a legend, mate. Keep up the great content. Currently listening while milking the cows, says John Townley. Ooh, squeezy. And Mark, you're looking extra cute today, says Monas. And yes, we are. I don't know what to say to that, Monas, but I appreciate the honesty. Some people wouldn't dare to say that. But the new background is looking good, isn't it? I quite liked the old background. I've got to be honest. I was like, can I show you the old background? I liked that. That was the old background. But then when you go to that, it's so much better. I was like, I like the old background. No, let's go to the new background. Evolution. You've got to be interested in change. But we are 7 minutes in and it's flown by so far, and I think we're going to see a good game. I hope we're going to see a good game. But what's wrong with Cancelo? He's got the ball. I thought he'd been sent off. Thoughts on Arsenal last night, says Tom McDermott. I didn't watch it, mate. I didn't watch. Well, I had the first half on when I was on the United stand. I thought the second goal they scored was really good. Royal Mail X says it's a good laugh, Phasmophobia. It's basically a ghost hunting game with voice recognition, a little like Outlast, which I know is your favourite game. Well, I might have to give that a go. I might have to give it a go. What Colin says, what result are you hoping for? Man City drop points, basically. Draw, ideally. Chelsea win, second choice. Nice play by Mount. Gets it wide to Ziyech. He's got a lot of time to put a cross in here. Cuts back onto his left. Whips the cross in. And it will be easily headed away. But Kante wins the second ball. If Chelsea are up for it, they've got good players. Another good cross by Ziyech. Back post. Werner, you should be anticipating that. Pulisic jumps for it, but Werner should be coming in on the back post there. Definitely should do. Please share the video if you're watching, by the way. Got over 11,000 watching. It's a big game tonight. Man City against Chelsea. And then Ricky versus me on the 8 o'clock show on the United Stands. Nah, it's not going to be like that. I'm sure we'll get on. As long as he doesn't start slating Fred again and telling me that McTominay was good, we'll be fine. Man United playing Man City on Wednesday as well. You know it. Here's Ziyech. Well, to be honest, Ziyech's had 3 chances to put the ball in the last sort of 2 minutes, and none of the cross has been good. But he hasn't played in a while. I mean, Jez Bish says that Ziyech's already doing bits. I don't know whether he is doing bits at the moment. He's a good player. I do like Ziyech though. And dare I say it, Chelsea have started off a lot better than when I've seen them in their last 2 games, to be honest. Which isn't hard because, I mean, the last 2 games I've seen them play, West Ham, if they'd had a forward, would have won that. And Villa, just very, very equal. Should Bruno be rested for both the cup games, says Salah Ahmed? No. Man United need to put their first team out against Man City. It's an opportunity to get in the final. It's not the 3rd round. So you've got to put a strong team out against Man City on Wednesday. And then Watford next week. I mean, put the women's team out if they led us. I don't really care. I think the women's team would probably beat Watford. Am I disrespecting Watford? But no, in all seriousness, I'd love to see the women's team play against Watford. But I think that why not give Lingard and Mata and Dan James and Agallo, especially Agallo, give him a swan song. Wonder why they call it a swan song. Here's Werner! Good tackle. Oh, he's not giving it. He's not giving it. Lively start, though. Anthony Taylor says, wait there. Anthony Taylor, he's basically like a bull in a china shop. Now, a china shop is like, it's nothing to do with China. It's like pottery, isn't it? China. My gran used to have her best china. It's like, it's a sort of cup, isn't it? And now you imagine putting a bull in that, then they're just going to smash everything up. So that's what Anthony Taylor's like. He's just chaotic. He's a chaotic manager. I actually did a watch-along at the end of last season, Chelsea against Arsenal FA Cup final. And I've never turned a watch-along off. I always see it through to the end. With 20 minutes to go, I turned it off. I said, I can't watch this anymore. He made me stop doing a watch-along, Anthony Taylor. He should have it on a T-shirt. Anthony Taylor, when he's on holiday next year, if everything goes back to normal, he's walking around in Ibiza. Make sure he's got a cap on because he could burn your head. He could wear a T-shirt saying, I ended Goldbridge, because he made me turn off a watch-along. He was that bad in the FA Cup final. I thought he was so biased towards Arsenal. But he's the same. Is he not the same referee that sent Martial off but let Lamela hit him? I don't rate him. Mark Agallo isn't at Man United. His loan deal ended on January the 1st. No, he doesn't. He's still there. He's there till the end of the month. Bye, Atif. Bye, the King Tiger. Admir says he felt that was a bit of a penalty on Werner. Well, we've not seen the replay, and obviously VAR's looked at it. Remember with penalties, though, because some people are really struggling with this, it's got to be a clear and obvious error from the referee to overturn the decision they make. So look at the Villa penalty. He gave the penalty. VAR looked at it. There was contact, so they didn't overturn it. Whether it's a soft penalty or not, the referee gave it, so they wouldn't overturn it. And the same way with Anthony Taylor here, they're going to show it you now. Timo Werner. Well, the foul was outside the box. Could have been a penalty, but they won't overturn it because it's not a clear and obvious error. It's Werner on the left-hand side here. They're causing Man City a few problems. Now Man City come away with the ball. And now we've got a free kick to Chelsea, high up the pitch. Good start by Chelsea, this. Mr. Chaos, Anthony Taylor, come on down. You don't know what you do. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. I think he should stick a clown wig on his head. It would make it so much better for people to understand what sort of a referee he is. A big red wig velcroed to his head. That would really make it a lot easier for everybody to understand what I think of him as a referee. I think he's really poor. really, really poor. Yeah. Chelsea have had 66% possession so far. Yeah. That's not a lie. It's the truth. Man City not really got going yet, but as we know, they can do. We are 10 subscribers away from 282,500, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and a good chance for De Bruyne there. The original Fanta Pants. It was a lovely ball through. And De Bruyne... He's onside. I'd fancy De Bruyne from there. I really would. Chance of the game, that. Slipped in by Cancelo. Puts it wide. De Bruyne is just not... De Bruyne is just a Poundland Bruno these days. He really is. I'm going to tweet that as well. So make sure you retweet it at Mark Goldbridge. It's a very early time to do it. Edwin says don't do it. But Edwin, I live by the sword, I die by the sword. You know, it's very easy to call De Bruyne a Poundland Bruno with 1 minute to go. I'll do it with 75 minutes to go. That's what I do. Ari's saying don't do it. Don't do it. I've done it. I've done it. But Man City's starting to get a little bit of the ball here. For 300k, would you play and finish Outlast, says Salah Ahmed. Outlast bothered me. Like, it bothered me. As a game, it just bothered me. Nice little 1-2 here. Bloody Chilwell. Defensively, shit. He's good going forward. That's just a 1-2 and he loses the ball. It loses his man. Just lets him go. Harmon, I tested negative for COVID. I'm not out of the woods yet. I can see the edge of the woods, but I'm still in the woods when it comes to COVID because I had a haircut last Monday. Somebody tested positive. I felt a bit ill on Thursday. Had a test negative, but you can apparently test. You can still get symptoms 10 days after, so I've still got till next Thursday. But, yeah. The withered Yosh Gaming says Chilwell's just a left-footed Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, you know, I get told to love Chilwell. Oh, it's a goal for Man City. Gundogan, crap defending by Chelsea. Really shit defending by Chelsea again. What? They couldn't defend a pack of picnics from an ant. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's literally just turned him on the edge of the box and blasted it low. Chelsea's defence is shit. All that money. 1-0 City. Like a pack of dolphins all at sea. That's Thiago Silva turned by Gundogan as well. And let's not forget, Gundogan looks like he's had a good Christmas. That's all I'm going to say. And he's turned Thiago Silva. He's had second helpings there. Tweet Poundland Shaw for Chilwell now, says Ben Sayers. 1-0. Crap defensively from Chelsea. And you know what? Chelsea fans will not like that because they are very big fans of Thiago Silva. What did I say about Thiago Silva? Tell me what I said about Thiago Silva. I said, very good defender, but is he going to have it for the Premier League at 39? He's not even 39, but you know what I mean. If you're getting spun by Gundogan, I mean, look at Gundogan. I don't want to say the words because it's not nice, but you know what I mean. When you look at Gundogan, does he strike you as the sort of player that's going to spin you like a bottle top? And he spun him like a bottle top. We fleeced Chelsea for Chilwell. He couldn't defend a roll of cheese from a blind rat, says Road to Dawn. Castagnan and Justin are levels better. Well, he wasn't at fault for the goal. And Roy Melex says Outlast gets better the more you play it. In all honesty, the initial game is a bit jarring, but after an hour and a half, after half an hour, it wears off. So it's 1-0 to Man City anyway. Disappointing from Chelsea. Defensively, poor. They've started the game well, Chelsea, but you've got to defend the game. You know, Man City are not going to not do something, are they? De Bruyne had a chance just before that. The warning signs were there. It's poor defensively from Chelsea. Definitely. And another ball here. Thiago Silva cuts across, but now it's De Bruyne. Where is Chelsea's defence here? 2-0. Foden. They are terrible at the back. Absolutely terrible at the back. It's just too easy. Lampard out. You are in big shit here, Frank. You are in more shit. than a swimming pool full of cow crap. You are absolutely sinking here. This is just terrible defence by Chelsea. I can't believe they spent so much money on this team and they still got no defence. There's people running off everywhere. Thiago Silva again. You've got to blame Silva again. Thiago Silva is just a Poundland bloody Titus Bramble. He's absolute shit. Really poor. Two 2-0. Awful. You can't win games if you defend like that. And I tell you what, Man City looking very much like they're in a title race here. And Lampard looking very much like he's in a sack race. And I don't mean the one at Sports Day. I mean one where you get the sack. Well, people saying Lampard out. Look at City now. They're all over them. I thought Chelsea's defence was better. Chilwell's like an apron. Looks nice at the front, wide open at the back. Thiago Silva's a Brazilian Titus Bramble. I don't mind Zuma. Mendy can't do anything about that either. But 2-0 down, 20 minutes gone. Chelsea started off quite well. Well, look, 2-0, you can come back from 2-0. But Thiago Silva makes Maguire look like Ferdinand, says Joey Jeff. Just call him the Brazilian Titus Bramble. People will go mad. But it's true. And City have got one of the best defences in the league, says Shush Barry. Yeah. Well, they're again here. Good shot. Mendy gets hold of it. This could get embarrassing. What's going on at Chelsea? You've got Kante, you've got Kovacic, you've got Ziyech, you've got Werner, you've got Pulisic. Get a bloody grip. Nice takedown by Chilwell. Get a bloody grip on here, Chelsea. Come on. Pulisic, all on his own. Too greedy. Refused two or three passes there, Pulisic. Oh, Gundogan now. He's spinning them like a bottle top. And Kovacic gives the foul away. Zane says Arsenal come in for Chelsea, spent 200 million. Lacazette showing Werner how it's done. And if this was Ollie, the media would be all over him because it's Lampard and he's English. You won't hear anything. Exactly. You're not wrong. But you know what? In fairness, Thiago Silva's a very good player. I said it in the summer when they bought Thiago Silva. I said, the problem is he's 36. This is Chilwell again. He's shite. I tell you what, I hate being right. I don't. I love it. But I said this about Chilwell. People have been telling me Chilwell's better than Luke Shaw. What? He can't bloody defend. Tell you what, if you got Chilwell to babysit, you'd come back to a burnt down house and everything's been stolen. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible defensively. Chelsea think they've got one of the best left backs in the league. Going forward, he's fantastic. He's got no reverse. He can't go backwards. He's awful defensively. Chilwell. I've said it so many times. I don't know what. I think Chelsea did get mugged by Leicester. We got mugged by Leicester. Maguire's no way worth 80 million, but Chilwell's not worth 50 million either. As for Thiago Silva, very good player, but Thiago Silva's been playing for Paris in the French league for the last 30 years with a cigar and slippers on. Who are we playing this week? I don't know, some farmers from bloody south of France. Oh, I'll bring my swimming trunks. Easy. What's he doing coming to the Premier League at 36? This is fast-paced, competitive football, and Thiago Silva has unfortunately exposed himself as being not ready for this. He's too old for it. You've just been spun by Gundogan. Gundogan, if he put a bloody Santa hat on, beard on, you'd think it was Santa. He's been spun by Santa without a Santa hat. Like Gundogan. Gundogan's a good player, but he's bloody not the sort of player that's going to spin you. Anyway, that's a shit pass by Thiago Silva. I don't know why I'm critiquing Chelsea like I'm a Chelsea fan here. I don't know why, but I'm finding it frustrating. I don't even bloody support Chelsea. It's because I don't want Man City to win. That's why. In the context of the title, I don't think Liverpool or Man City want them to win. But Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, by the way. I think we're about 300 away from 283. We are doing Liverpool versus Southampton tomorrow night as well. So if you love your football and you just want to watch a football match, and whether you support the teams involved or not, get involved with That's Football. That's what we're all about here. Time to sing a bit of Kylie. I'm spinning around to Snaps. Yeah, that would have been good, actually. Thanks for the mods, actually. Sally and Snaps are involved today. Thank you very much. He's a German Santa Claus, says Frosty117. And Mark Goldbridge, who's better, Arsenal or Chelsea? Well, Chelsea should be better, but at the moment, Arsenal beat them not that long ago, didn't they? Mr. LC says it's a bit weird, Mark, closet Chelsea fan. No, it's nothing to do with that. I just, when I watch football, I get involved in football. I've said this before. My granddad used to manage a Sunday morning team, and I'd go with him when I was like 5 and 6, and no, it's probably a little bit older than that. Maybe 7, 8, 9, and I'd go with him on a Sunday morning, and it would be like a typical sort of thing that you probably get all around the country, where there's mass communal dressing rooms. There's probably about 20 teams playing. There's probably about 10 different pitches. So while my granddad was managing, I'd go and walk around and watch different games. And normally it'd be based on seeing a couple of kits and pretending that it was like Spurs against Liverpool and stuff like that, or United against Chelsea, something like that. And I've always been able to watch matches and get involved in them. And I'm sure many people are like that. So when I don't just sit and I'm not sitting and watching a match and on my phone. When I'm watching a match, I'm watching a match. I get involved in it, and I'll normally pick a team that I want to win, unless I want to be entertained. And I wanted to be entertained today, and I think Chelsea's defence has denied us of that so far. Mason Mount is Lingard 2.0. 1 month he plays like Modric, and the rest of the season like Obertan. Sharath Kamath Fitness. I spent all that money and he did better with the kids, says Aaron. 549. That's a very good point, actually, Aaron. I said this last time I watched Chelsea. I think that Paul Not Nice says Chelsea are terrible. United shouldn't purchase a single player from the Bundesliga. Chelsea's a real life example. I watched a lot of Chelsea last season. I've seen a fair bit of Chelsea this season, and they were a better team last year. Leicester haven't got the players that Chelsea have got, but they're a better team. Like Lampard, I just think he's proven it. Here we go, Pulisic. What? Too many touches there. Too many bloody touches. Hit it first time. Chilwell with the cross. Werner, you should hit that first time. Why are they not hitting it first time? Bloody hell. 2 chances there. Pulisic could have hit it first time. Werner could have hit it first time. And they take a bloody touch. It's infuriating. Anyway, I think that Lampard's got too many players to try and settle. And also, I think last season they were a better team. They played better football. I don't know what Chelsea's identity is this season. It's a weird identity. There you go. Pull a shit, says Ali Als. Are you supporting Chelsea? I mean, I'm supporting them to draw. I want to draw. I don't want Man City to win, because if you look at Man City's next 5 or 6 games, they're going to win them all. So if they win this one, they're going to win them all. They're going to be right a point behind United and Liverpool. And obviously United play Liverpool. So Man City could be top by February. So I want Man City to drop points. Kenneth Hoagland says, you just like me, I support United, but I'm a fan of the beautiful game of football. I think that's mostly why people are here. And thank you, Mustafa Ali, for the super chat. Here we go again. In down that left-hand side. Raheem Sterling, blocked. Gundogan, blocked. Chilwell is all over the place. Here's Pulisic. Very greedy Pulisic. Look at him. He doesn't pass great Pulisic, does he? I've never noticed this. He never passes. We're 200 subscribers away from 283,000. Please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can hit that. Rafa Mora says Arteta is miles better than Lampard with no money. Well, you weren't saying that 3 weeks ago, were you, to be honest? Zayn Miasi, Isco, Saka, Partey, Martinelli, Chelsea have no identity or history. I love Zayn. He starts including players in the Arsenal team that haven't signed and probably never will sign. But optimism from Zayn. Optimism. I think if you want Man City to drop points any time in the next 6 games, today was the game for it to happen. They're basically playing Fulham at home every week for the next 6 weeks. Their fixture list is ridiculously easy. Giroud should be starting week in, week out, says Kolnich. Man City are dominating Chelsea at the moment. They started off quite well. They've been in real trouble ever since. Lampard out, Kepa in, says Gaming Overlord. Maybe Kepa was misunderstood. But having said that, if Chelsea can get a goal next, then it changes things around a bit, doesn't it? 1 minute. I've just got to sort something. I'm back. Bloody dog's outside. It's like an episode of the Sooty and Sweep show. All I can hear is rah, rah, rah. It's sad in a way, which is why I gave up my stream for 30 seconds to get the dog in. It's cold outside. It plays on my mind. I'm a very sympathetic person, really. Unless you're a shit player for United, and then you're going to get it. But half an hour gone. Next goal to me looks like it could be a goal for the mighty Man City at the moment. They're dominating. They're really dominating this game. Chelsea looking toothless up front as well. You're right. That's a problem. Mark, you're right. This was a chance for United to get clear City. You've seen their next fixtures. Andrew C. Here's Man City's next few fixtures then. Brighton, Palace, Villa, West Brom, Sheffield United, Burnley. That's an easy 15 points. Yeah, and you know what? Man City are experienced at doing that. Sky Sports should be offering you a job. Your first classmate on the United stand and your watch-alongs. I tweeted you the meaning of Swan Song, says Darren. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Darren. I will have a look what Swan Song means, actually. Let's have a look what Swan Song mean. What does Swan Song mean? It means the final performance or activity of a person's career. But why? What's it got to do? Why do they call it a swan? Originates from the legend. While they are mute during the rest of their lives, swans sing beautifully and mournfully just before they die. Right, there you go. That's sad. That is actually sad. So a swan is mute. That's a load of shit anyway. Them swan things, them duck things, them white duck things with wings, they're the things that can break your arm with a wing. That bloody bat thing. I've got wings made of steel. Oh, here we go. This is 3-0. Look at Chelsea's defence again. Raheem Sterling, he can't mess this up. He's hit the post. De Bruyne, 3-0. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like watching the bloody episode of Ghost. This is Ghost the sequel. But we ain't got Patrick Swayze. We've got bloody Chilwell, Aspilicueta, Zuma, Kante and Thiago Silva. Like, they've got nobody back. It's like Manchester United in Istanbul. Like, there's nobody back. Raheem Sterling's running from his own half through on goal. He messes it up. The thing is, Raheem Sterling actually messes this up. Chelsea get people back. But again, they're all like ghosts. They've got 6 Chelsea players get back and De Bruyne still passes it into the net. Absolute shite. He's got to go. He's got to go. Chelsea's defence is just awful. Shambles. Absolute shambles. And it's 3-0. I don't think Chelsea are coming back. And I think Manchester City are very, very much in a title race here. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing for Chelsea. But how do you get yourself in that position where a player's running through one-on-one from the halfway line? Well, I know how you do it because United did it. Back post. Oh, free header for Foden. It should have been 4. Unbelievable defending. Absolutely unbelievable. There we go. All the gear and no idea for Chelsea at the moment. And, well, you know, is Lampard going to get... Do you think Lampard will get the sack? Have we got any Chelsea fans in the comments? Will he get the sack? Like, will he get the sack? I'm asking the question because, to me, the way that Abramovich has married... I'm not Welsh. The way Abramovich has managed that club, he would sack this coach. 100%. But it's Lampard, isn't it? And look, Lampard's he's lost 4 out of his last 5 games if he loses this. They've spent loads of money. Like, this would be the most nailed-on sacking ever if it wasn't Lampard. With that ownership, this would be the most nailed-on sacking in the world. I wouldn't even use the words because to me it would be so obvious he's going to get the sack. But I don't understand why he's not going to get the sack. Many people tell me, Lampard's a legend. They won't sack him. They'll give him time. But realistically, and I do like it, but as Cecil says, he deserves the sack. Lampard is just an Arteta with more money. Mark, who's a bigger fridge, Chilwell or the fridge, says Zayn Miassi. And Zayn Miassi could do a better job than Fat Frank. He's a shambles, says Dodgy Pete. Well, there's no need to be fattest. And if there was Arteta or Ollie, it would be so different, says Big Josh. And if this was Ollie, Craig Burley would have been all over him. Can't wait to see what he has to say about Lampard. Exactly, Samir Khan. Exactly. Don't worry, that's just my little lad upstairs, Seb. He's a massive Chelsea fan. He's just shouting, get Lampard out, he's useless. He's just doing the equivalent of what a child would do if he could swear. He's like, I can't believe it, get rid of him, he's useless. All he's interested in is jelly babies. Let's go to the Leeds fan who's now become a Chelsea fan. He's having a fucking laugh. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. But it's 3-0 not to Chelsea. Sorry, don't get your hopes up, Chelsea fans. It's 3-0 to Manchester City. Effectively, it's just defence. Defence is the problem. Defensively, it's a shambles. I could, you know what? I could spend the next 20 minutes just writing tweet after tweet after tweet after what is wrong with this team. And the great thing is, Chelsea... I've always said this about Chelsea. It doesn't matter who the manager is, they back the manager. I mean, bloody, was it Sarri got Kepa for like 70 million? That was stupid, but they got the player for him. Chelsea are very good at spending money, and I think their recruitment department's very good. But who's telling them to buy the players might not be so good. They're very good at getting players, but who's telling them to buy them? Like, who said let's spend 50 million on Chilwell? Idiot. Who said, let's get Thiago Silva to lead our defence? Idiot. You know, he may as well be 96, not 36. Chelsea's midfield has been terrible as well, says JL150. Yeah, I mean, Kovacic is a good player, but the last couple of games I've seen him, he's not been. Something tells me the players are not playing for their manager, says Blue FT216. Exactly. I think there is an issue there. And also, not only are the results bad, but he spent 80 million quid on Havertz, and he doesn't even bloody use him. So this is the equivalent of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting battered and having Van der Beek on the bench. It's fine having Van der Beek on the bench if you are at the top of the table. But Chelsea are very soon going to be a mid-table side. Very soon. Watch Cobra Kai on Netflix. It's class as Mitchell. Hey, mate, what makes you think I've not already watched it? I'm a massive fan of Cobra Kai. You know what, though? Akraf says Havertz can't even run. I would have took Havertz at Manchester United. Real Madrid would have took Havertz. Bayern Munich would have took Havertz. They just didn't have the money to do it, and Chelsea did. So I would have took Werner as well. I like Kovacic. I mean, as the person just said there, is this not a case of the players not playing for the manager? Because there's a lot of good players there, and they are not performing. So, you know, Ziyech's not been that good this game either. Chicken Leg says that Juventus are 100 times better than Chelsea. I don't know what the relevance of that is, really. Quinton Lawrence says, I'm loving this from a Liverpool fan. So Liverpool could wake up because there weren't anyone chasing them. Are you not worried about Man City chasing you? Because when Man City win all their games in hand, they're a point behind Liverpool. And as you've seen over the last few years, Man City are probably the best team to hunt you down. Chelsea might as well be swimming in the custard. Abysmal. And there's no connection between the players. They've got no identity. I said this after the Villa game on Monday. They've got no identity. As an outsider, there's no fluidity, there's no system, there's no philosophy. I mean, it's just a mess. There's no patterns of play. It is a mess. It'd be good for the game if Chelsea can get one back before half time, but they haven't looked like getting one back before half time. Here's Chilwell. It's a crap ball, corner. Also, I think Chelsea players hold on to the ball for too long. There's been opportunities to have a shot a couple of times. Where do you think Luke will go? Says Neil Canavan. I don't know who he is, so there we go. Who would have thought that Arteta would outlast Lampard, said Frank Casca. At this point, it's looking like the likely scenario. This bloody league is incredible. Samir says, if this was Ollie, yeah, we've done that one. De Bruyne with a goal and assist in 34 minutes, not a pound land after all. Hashtag good player. Yeah, that sort of backfired, Samir. What's your opinion on Foden, Mark? Best youngster in the league. I like Foden, James Blacknell, I do. Yeah. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ underneath the chat. We are 5 minutes away from half time, probably 4 really. We'll play either or at half time. But Chelsea, I mean, never say never, but Man City have got one of the best defences in the league this season. So I don't think we're gonna see Chelsea coming back into this. Man United's going to be a tough game on Wednesday night for United against City. But then again, maybe Chelsea are just shit. This reminds me of the thrashing we got from City in the first leg of the Carabao Cup last year, playing with a false 9. This is Animish Ranjan. You've seen season 3? Yeah, Mitchell Bass. Well, no, I'm working my way through it at the moment, mate. Working my way through it. Hey, we've got we've got 17,000 watching. Please share the video. Let's see if we can get up towards 20k. And we are 70 subscribers away from 283,000. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can hit that today. Remember, we're doing Liverpool versus Southampton tomorrow night, and the FIFA Career Mode is back this week as well from tomorrow. So link in the video description. No, it's not. It's bottom right-hand corner to subscribe, or link in the video description. Join That's Football community and get involved. Here is Raheem Sterling running against the back four again. It's like a game of rugby. Foden's free on the right-hand side. Foden with the cross. Oh, it would have been a good goal. Gundogan thinks he's Lionel Messi today. He's had a good Christmas. You can see by the size of his shirt. And he's playing like Lionel Messi. Little flick. It could have been a goal. What's your opinion on Kevin De Bruyne's performance this season? Says Cattle. De Bruyne is a very good player. I think Bruno's been better than him this season. I still think De Bruyne is a better player than Bruno, but I think Bruno's delivered better. Feeling like we're having a proper title race now, says Ryan. And Lampard out, says Red Revolution. Gundogan's been absolutely superb, United could have comfortably bet Chelsea if they went for him, says Aaron A. And London is red, says King Kong. Well, it's actually white, isn't it? Because Spurs are actually above both of these teams at the moment. Anything I could do to be able to submit new graphic studios for you to see, says Apex. I'm a half-decent 3D design amateur. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the super chat, mates. I think there is a contact us page, yeah. Timo Werner. There definitely is on the United stand. Timo Werner. Again, it's just everybody... Chelsea just hold on to the ball for too long. Like, there's a shot on. Hit it. Like, they seem to want to get the perfect shot off. And sometimes you just got to hit the shot. Mark, who do you think will win the Euros in the summer? Says Bubba. I'm not convinced the Euros will happen this summer, to be honest with you. We'll have to wait and see if it does. Pulisic, again, holds on to the ball for too long. and he might get a yellow card for that, even though it was his dribble. What are your thoughts on Rangers this season? They were 19 points clear of Celtic, finished top of the Europa League group. Well, they're going to win the Celtic League, aren't they? So, and I call it the Celtic League because it seems like they've won it every year for the last 20. But Niall Canavan says Jeff Cott is from Argyle. He's got 14 goals in 20 games. There you go. Booked Pulisic there. I think it was a booking. 2 minutes to be added on here. Well, it's weird. He's given a... So there was a foul before on Pulisic, but then Pulisic gets booked for following through. Ziyech with the free kick here. Chelsea need a goal if they want to get back into this game. It's a crap free kick. Absolute crap. Ziyech again. Watching City play like this, normally we would worry City getting the title race, but in all honesty, we're playing some good football. Makes us confident. What's your take, Mark? Says Sammy Ekadam. And are you going to watch Spurs semi on Tuesday, Mark? No, Samuel Towers. It's against Brentford, isn't it? I don't really find Spurs very entertaining to watch. I like Son and Kane, but Mourinho's tactics are not really something I want to watch against Brentford, to be honest. And Brentford have lost some of their best players this year, so I won't be watching that. Man United, Man City on Wednesday night, of course, definitely. Be a good game, I think, hopefully. Yeah. But it's disappointing. I mean, look, I think when you look at the title now, 3-0 down at half-time for Chelsea, they're not in a title race. They were already a long way off, and they ain't going to win this game, no way. So they're out of anything. I think the best Chelsea can hope for is top four. And I do think we'll talk about it half-time seriously when the whistle goes about Lampard's future. I think that whistle's going to go right now. But Man City are going to be in a title race. They really have got 5 or 6 fixtures after this in the Premier League that they're going to win. So they're effectively going to win for a lot of games for the next few weeks. And if they won all their games, they'd only be a point behind Liverpool and United anyway. So Man City, for me, are probably favourites to be top of the league by mid-February at the moment, because I know what fixtures they've got before they play Liverpool. Lampard isn't competent enough to handle his squad. It was cute last year when he had the transfer ban excuse. Now it's clear he's in way over his head, not capable enough to even teach PE, says PMV Patrick. And yeah, I think City look a real threat, don't they, at the moment. We will play either or in a minute, where you can give me 2 things, but I just want to talk about this game for a moment. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're 10 subscribers away from 283,000, so subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved with the channel. Of course, everybody's welcome on here. Big shout out to Drawty for the new graphics for the new year. Looking very good, and that's just me. But no, seriously, yeah, really excited about this channel and what we're doing on it, and watching lots of different games. And yeah, you're very welcome. Would you start De Gea or Henderson on Wednesday, says Ewan Black? He'll probably start Henderson, to be fair. But back to this game, I just think that, you know, I like Lampard, and I don't like going against my opinion just to go along with the general consensus, because I do see in Lampard, I remember him coming to United with Derby before he took the Chelsea job. Really good footballing side. I remember watching them a lot last season. Good footballing side. They seemed to lack a finisher, and the defence was crap. This season, I don't see the good footballing side of last year. I still see them. They're a shambles at the back. I don't know who their defensive coach is, but it's a shambles. And the new signings are very confusing. They're very confusing. What was the point in Havertz if you're not going to use him? He's like a very expensive signing. You know, he's double the price we paid for Van der Beek, and we moan about not using Van der Beek. Werner, I mean, he's been up front, he's been on the wing, he's been on the bench. Ziyech obviously has been injured, so you can't really say too much about that. Thiago Silva was a weird signing. It's like you're buying a name because he was in a rap song. I mean, Thiago Silva was a very good player, but as I said, he's been playing in a PSG side for years that just doesn't have to do much. This is the Premier League. You know, you're going to be challenged every week at 36. It was a weird signing. He's at fault for the first 2 goals tonight. Chilwell is awful defensively, and like, I've got no axe to grind with Chilwell. He plays for Leicester, not bloody Liverpool. Isn't there? No, you know, I've got no issue with Chilwell, but defensively, I've always said it, he's crap. Going forward, he's good, but defensively, he's crap, and a fullback needs to defend. Their defence, I mean, and again, they've gone and done an Istanbul United. They're attacking, and they've ended up with a situation where a player is running through one-on-one from your own halfway line. Now, that game has actually been rather equal in some ways, but it's 3-0 because Chelsea couldn't defend a packet of crisps. Awful defending from Chelsea, and that reflects badly on the manager. So I look at Chelsea, I look at what they've done in their last 5 games. They are 8th in the league at the moment. If Southampton got a point tomorrow against Liverpool, Chelsea would go down to 9th. They're on the same points as West Ham. Arsenal are 3 points behind them. Leeds are 3 points behind them. Chelsea could be very, very quickly in the bottom half of the league. Chelsea shouldn't be below 4th. They shouldn't be below 4th. And yet they're down fighting at 8th, 9th, 10th. In their last 5 games, they've lost 3 and drawn 1 and won 1. If they lose this, that's 4 losses, a draw and a win in their last 6 Premier League games. That's sackable. I'm telling you now, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lost 4 of his next 6 and drew 1, people would be saying Ole out. Same with Arteta. So why, as much as I like Lampard, why are people not saying Lampard out? Why? It doesn't make a blind bit of sense as to what's going on. And I think there was a very good comment in the first half that the players aren't playing for the manager. And Chelsea they've got history of this, so it doesn't look good for Lampard for me. I'm a Chelsea fan, says CJK. This is embarrassing. Thought they were looking good the first 10 minutes, but they tricked me. Tuchel in. Well, there's a manager there that Chelsea might quite fancy. This is the same formation Pep used against Ole when they bossed us in the cup game until we put on Matic. Lampard needs to change it up fast, says Marketing James. I'm not even a Chelsea fan, and it would be sad to see Chelsea sack Frank Lampard. But ultimately, it is a results business, and I've got to be honest. I think they've got to be considering sacking him. We're really close to 283,000, so please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. I think Lampard's in big shit, to be honest with you. And I've done the timer already. Thank you. So yeah. I don't see them coming back into this game. I mean, just very, very quickly before we talk about something else, the next fixture for Chelsea is going to be in the Cup because they're out of the Carabao Cup, of course. They've got Morecambe at home, then they've got Fulham away, Leicester away, and then they've got Wolves and Burnley. So they've got games that they can drop points again. I just wonder. And the big thing is as well, we talked about it in the first half, if this wasn't Frank Lampard, I know he's sacked. If this is Mourinho or Ranieri or Sarri or Ancelotti, they're sacked. Like Abramovich is sacking them right now. There's no way with that form and that amount of money spent and that sort of a result. You're gone. Lampard is a City legend, inside agent, says Ashocked. Roasted turkey, Lampard has the advantage of English biased. And Robert McCormack says it's not always about spending money. Yeah, I think they spent too much money. But I don't blame Lampard for that. I would have took that. When was the last time you missed a United game like you didn't watch, says W Remixed? I don't actually know. I don't know. I think I have missed one in the last few years, but I can't remember what it was. Pulisic has been our best player, says Kamal Wilson. Yeah, but he's held on to the ball too much as well. I don't think that goal should be a goal either by Foden. I think the keeper should save it. But yeah, in a very easy way, defence of Chelsea, absolutely embarrassing. Why is Kante on his own at the back against 3 players? I know he misplaces the pass, but why is he back on his own? Where's people sprinting to get back? Where's people marking people? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Give Lampard time, says Amy. Well, that is an option. It's not normally an option Chelsea go with. With City playing like this, we will knock them out, says Arman Hussein. And would you rather Grealish for 100 million or Sancho for 80 million, says David Paleski. Sancho for 80, yeah. Do you think Chelsea would have gotten as far as they have without Giroud? In almost every match he's played, he's been a big influence, says Jeremy. What would you do to change it for Chelsea in the second half? I don't know what he's got on the bench, but I think he's got to get hold of that midfield. It's not easy. It's not easy, is it? And the thing about Man City, we've not spoken about Manchester City, but they've been lethal on the break. They've been very good this season defensively, and I think that that's it. That's it from City's point of view. It's a walk in the park. Do you think that Chelsea could finish in the bottom half of the table? Says Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. No, I don't think that'll happen. Look, Chelsea are way better than this. They're massively underperforming. There is something really weird about this season as well. Like, United have had a bad period. Man City have dropped points. Liverpool have dropped stupid points. Arsenal were going to get relegated and now they're winning. Spurs seem to have dropped loads of points, but they're 4 points off the top. So it's a really weird season. There's no way that Chelsea are going to get relegated, of course. I think the big question for Chelsea, from a Chelsea point of view, is will Lampard survive? There's almost a competition between Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea about who's going to sack their manager first. Who wants to sack their manager first? Because there is a connection between those three clubs. We've all got ex-players. We've all got players. We've all got clubs that need rebuilding. We've all got managers who used to play for the club. We all know we need to be patient. And sometimes it's like, do we be patient or is this a mess? And I think United have been through that. Leipzig, we got knocked out. There was the rumour about Poch before the Everton game. They've stuck by Ollie and it seems to be working. Arteta, many people, people are wearing T-shirts. Now they're not. It's Lampard. The difference with Lampard is, and many of you've said it, is that the press have not played any part in the Lampard thing. I've seen the press saying Arteta out. I've seen the press saying Ollie out. I've seen fans saying Arteta out and Ollie out. But with Lampard, he's never had that. And maybe he deserves it more than anybody else. But it's going to be very interesting because the pressure will be huge on Frank Lampard now, because Chelsea fans will not like what's going on. And, I would be absolutely fucking fuming as well. I'd be fuming with that. I can relate to it because I've seen this from a Manchester United point many a time, where you, defensively poor. Normal, please. Thanks. Defensively very poor. Rishab says, people say there's no discrimination, but nationality is the biggest discriminating factor. Look, Frank Lampard's really liked by the media in this country. I like Lampard, but I used to dislike him as a player because of the Scholes Gerrard Lampard thing. But there's no doubting that Lampard's a nice bloke and an intelligent guy. And when I heard him as a pundit, but it doesn't make you a good coach. Hi Mark, are you live tonight? United stand, you're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Are you watching the Dart final, Anderson versus Price? I will have it on Man United 890, but we are doing an 8 o'clock show as well, so you can join us for that on the United stand. When do you think we should look at Havertz and Werner? Will be looked at on a level as Pepe. As an Arsenal fan, Chelsea have been calling him a flop since the first game. When do you think we should look at Havertz on a level as Pepe? Yeah, look, I like Werner. And I like Pepe and I like Havertz, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be flops. I think Pepe is probably a flop at this point. Not in the sense that he's totally terrible. I just don't think he's going to hit the heights of a £70 million player. Werner, I just think you've got to be a little bit more patient on that one. And I think with Havertz, he's not even getting... he needs to play, doesn't he? But he doesn't, maybe the players just aren't playing for him. Although I understand the calls for Lampard out, nobody seems to speak out about a lack of leadership and accountability on the pitch, says Mark Judd. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. You can do that through the $sign, by the way. Lampard actually tries to compare himself to Klopp, says Matt Horsnell. Well, I think this is the issue with Chelsea, isn't it? At times... look, I'm sure at the end of November, we were doing a watch-along and I was saying Chelsea look really dangerous to me. Really dangerous. But you're not dangerous if you lose 4 of your last 6. And that's the problem with Chelsea. They had a dodgy start. Remember they were 3-0 down to West Brom and they got a draw, but they had a dodgy start. And everyone was like, well, they've bought a lot of players, so it's going to take a bit of time. They then stabilised, they started winning games, and then December's been awful. As I said... there's been turkeys that have had better bloody Decembers than Chelsea. So it's fallen apart in a very, very big way. And they need to improve. But, I'm not going to say that he should be sacked. personally, I wouldn't sack him, but I'm not a Chelsea fan, so you know my opinion doesn't matter as much as a Chelsea fan. But I would say that he's in very big danger of being sacked because the history of that football club and that owner is to press the exit button, and I think they might have done it already under a different coach. So we are going to do Liverpool versus Southampton tomorrow night. I shouldn't really do it because every time I watch Liverpool they play well, and every time I don't watch them they drop points. But we are going to do it tomorrow, and hopefully Southampton can get something against them. But someone said after the Arsenal game that Lampard has 2 of Mourinho's traits and neither of them are good, says Ethan. Thanks for the super chat there. And Arsenal wasn't a fluke, says Zealous Music. Chelsea gave Arsenal confidence, says Wayne Brilliant. And please don't watch the Liverpool game, says people in the live comments. So we are going to do it, don't worry about it. I think that the ref has been making some silly decisions and has knocked Chelsea's performance, says Larry Humphreys. Look, Anthony Taylor's a clown as a referee. That's always been my opinion. But also, he, whilst he might be a bit of a clown, he's not Chelsea's defence. Like, Chelsea's defence could run their own circus. All they need is the wigs. They've been a shambles. And Thiago Silva, I mean, realistically, the infuriating thing about Thiago Silva is he'll be on massive wages. And if they played Rudiger, he wouldn't have made those 2 mistakes. It's infuriating when you bring a player in that you've basically got to... And the problem Lampard's got is he's got to pick Thiago Silva, hasn't he? He's got to pick Thiago Silva. So Chelsea, for me, are always going to be vulnerable at the back. So, yeah, Anthony failure, says Broken King. But yeah, I don't think the ref's at fault for why Chelsea are not playing well. I think Chelsea are at fault for why Chelsea aren't playing well. And specifically their defence and their midfield. It just isn't good enough. I'm actually shocked at how bad Chelsea are, and I said it at the start of the game. What did I say at the start of the game about Chelsea? I said the biggest insult I can play is that I can pay them at the moment is that I feel sorry for them because I want them to win because I don't see them as a threat. Whereas if Man City win, I see them as a threat. So, you know, even more so, that's been borne out, hasn't it? But you know, Chelsea's season now, you've got to look at this and go, if Lampard is going to stay in charge, then their best they can hope for is 4th place. But remember, 4th place is probably hard to get hold of as well because that's probably between Spurs and Leicester at the moment. It really does look like Man City, United and Liverpool are going to be the favourites for top 4. And then you're looking at Leicester and Spurs. Well, Chelsea have got to refocus their mind very, very quickly because I tell you what, if you don't get top 4 with the money that's been spent on Chelsea last year, that's an embarrassment. That's an absolute embarrassment. Hooper says, you made me yawn, Mark. Apparently there's something psychologically when you see somebody yawn, it makes you yawn as well. I saw Lampard and he just made me yawn. Aston Villa have got a chance for top 4 as well, says YouTube. Yep. And hey, leave Maguire alone. I think Maguire's doing all right at the moment. Doing better than bloody Thiago Silva, that's for sure. Anyway, the players are coming out. We will be kicking off in a minute. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. Everybody's welcome on here. Don't write Everton off, says Danny J. Well, Everton are a good side, but, you know, again, another good side. West Ham totally deserved to beat you, didn't they? So, Lampard looks absolutely fuming. Has he got what it takes to turn this around? It would be a hell of a turnaround if they could get back. And look, nobody should be coming back from 3-0 down. But it's a game of 2 halves. And, you know, I think Chelsea are better than that first half. Let's see what they can do. Wayne List says, Werner, Havertz, Kagawa, Mkhitaryan, etc. The dangers of the German league and Sancho being exposed seems looking class there. Don't mean much here. Well, Gundogan's from the German league. Let's flip it around. How many players from the German league have done well in the Premier League? I feel like I'm missing somebody glaringly obvious here. But Zakaria plays in the German league as well, doesn't he? De Bruyne came from the German league. Aubameyang came from the German league. Son came from the German league. I wouldn't have thought of him. Good shout out, everyone who's saying Son. So yeah, I don't think you can say, it's almost it's an ism, really, isn't it, to say if you play in the German league you can't play in the Premier League, because it's not true. But there's a pressure on Chelsea here that they it'll be interesting. James Maddison didn't come from the German league; he came from Norwich. What's Chelsea got to do in this game? Not concede again. Oh, here we go. Mendy's on it though. Not concede again. If they have a better second half and show something, then maybe Lampard has got something to work with. If they capitulate in the second half, I mean, at the end of the day, that's Zuma, it's Kante again. Good block on De Bruyne, and he's given a goal kick. If you're the owner of Chelsea, you're 3-0 down, you're furious, you've lost 4 games of your last 6, you're absolutely fuming. You're sat watching this game. What you want to see in the second, you're probably sacking Lampard already, but you're sat there and you're like, if they go and play even worse in the second half, he's got to go, because he's spoken to them at half time and he's got nothing out of them. If they come out and show something in the second half, I might have something to work with. Next coach for Chelsea. I mean, if you want to go Thomas Tuchel, you do that. I would not want him at United, but if you think he's a good coach, you go for it. I don't really know what's out there. Pochettino is probably kicking himself, because Pochettino probably would take the Chelsea job, wouldn't he? Mourinho went from Chelsea to Spurs. What the hell is Craig Burley's problem with Man United and Ollie, says Bjorn. I mean, who the hell is Craig Burley? And I vaguely remember him as a player, but I mean, he in his day, he was the equivalent of Marcus Albrighton. Like, he was a nobody player. I remember him, he played for Chelsea. I'm sure he played for other clubs. I mean, that's what I mean. He's got nothing to do with Manchester United. His opinion's no better than Zane's. So I couldn't give a shit what Craig Burley's got to say. He's just a 1990s Craig Burley. Well, that's what he was, actually. A 1990s Marcus Albrighton. Mark Albrighton. They're lucky fans aren't in the stadium, says Blue FT216. Apparently Trippier doesn't have a ban anymore. I don't know how true that is, but I will check that out later. Don't be fooled by the racks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the back. I've been very impressed with Villa. Very impressed with Villa. I think they've been good so far this season. Oh, Brighton won the league. Yeah, I've probably insulted Mark. I've probably insulted Albrighton. Burley. I was just trying to think of some really average player, and I've probably insulted Albrighton. I didn't mean to do that. Rohan says, what's your thoughts on Sterling's season so far? You know what, to be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of Manchester City. I find them, this is going to be really controversial, but I find Man City really boring, and I won't watch them unless they're playing a big team. I'd never watch Man City play Burnley or Southampton or something like that, because I just find them really, I don't know what it is about City. I just don't find them. I didn't really like watching Pep's Barcelona either. I just don't like his style of football. I totally acknowledge that it's a brilliant style of football, but I just don't find it very entertaining to watch. I like Klopp's style of football, and I don't like Liverpool, but I can appreciate the intensity of their press and everything. But Man City, I just don't like watching them. So I couldn't really give you an honest opinion on Sterling. But I mean, look, Kovacic has just been robbed here. Crossed by Foden, and Sterling on the back post hasn't read it, but that could have been 4-0. I'll be amazed if he doesn't take Kovacic off now, because he just gets robbed here. That's shambolic. That is shambolic by Kovacic. For a Premier League player to get caught in possession like that, you've got to hook him off for that, big time. But yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Man City this season, so I don't really know how good Raheem Sterling has been. I think he was a bit disappointing last year. The season before he was on fire, wasn't he? But he's a good player, Sterling. I don't think he gets the the credit that he deserves. But I just don't watch a lot of them. City will finish above United, says Danny Lynch. I think they're a very big threat. I mean, effectively, they're only a point behind United and Liverpool anyway, aren't they, with their games in hand? And they've got some very, very easy games coming up. So I think their next hard game is Liverpool at the start of February. So they've got 5 or 6 Premier League games after this before that. And like I said, it's basically Fulham at home every week. So I think they're going to pick up a lot of wins. Havertz and Werner have to play out of position. They are no wingers, says Darth Raven. Well, Werner's played through the middle today. I mean, he's had no service, though, has he? Ziyech. Good defence. Not Chelsea. City, as I've said a couple of times, defensively this season, very good. I don't know what City's... I think City's February is quite tough, yeah. And obviously the Champions League's back in February. And who've City got in the Champions League? I think they've got somebody quite good, haven't they? Kante's just been booked for a foul on Sterling. I mean, that would top Chelsea's night off, really, getting a player sent off. Ryan Darwich says, Everton to win the league. What's your take on that? I'd be stunned. I don't think United can win the league. I definitely don't think Everton can win the league. Oh no, City have got Borussia Mönchengladbach, so they'll win that. They always get an easier draw, don't they? I'm not saying Gladbach are crap, but it's an easier draw for City, isn't it? I think Chelsea have got somebody tough, haven't they? I mean, I'm not being ignorant of the Champions League. It's just United aren't in it, so I just haven't taken much interest. I think Ollie is doing what Frank can't, not getting overwhelmed by stars. Good save by Mendy. Should have been 4-0. Again, you've got to ask who is marking who here. It really is. Awful. Awful. And he's a big player on the back post there. Who's marking him? Why is Ziyech marking Diaz? Ridiculous. But good point from Daniel Luciano. He says, Ollie doesn't get overwhelmed by the stars, plays his players and creating his own lineups and way. Cheers, Mark. Thanks, pal. Thanks for the super chat. And Chelsea have got Atletico Madrid, which will be tough. I mean, Chelsea's season's going to go from bad to worse, isn't it, if they're not careful? Man City already in the first 10 minutes of this half should have scored again. Chelsea, I can't remember them having a good chance all game. So not only are Chelsea giving chances away like a sieve, they're not creating anything at the other end. It's not the perfect storm, it's the worst storm. Thank you. Here is Chelsea though. Bit of a chance. Terrible shot. I mean, who's hit that? Who's hit that? Mount. Absolutely. It's basically a back pass. Ball comes to him on the edge of the box. It's got all the power of a butterfly's fart. It's awful. I don't even know what he's trying to do. And the Unholy says, every time Chelsea try and make a run, City are one step ahead. Yeah. They have been the better side. So I hope you're going to join me tomorrow night for Southampton versus Liverpool. Lots of people don't want me to watch it because every time I watch Liverpool, they win. But every time I don't watch Liverpool, they don't win. I've got to break that at some point. Every time I used to watch Arsenal, they used to lose, and that stopped. What's fatigue, Goldbridge, says Holly. I don't know. I had a lovely dinner. It was like a lamb with couscous. Lovely, lovely, really nice. But I had pizza last night, so I'll probably just have pizza because there was loads of it left. So yeah, probably have that. And a beer ahead of the 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, which we've got Beth, Ricky and Kev on. So I'm looking forward to that. Always like the Sunday night show. Different opinions. Oh, I'm tired though. Really tired again today. I think last night I was watching Cobra Kai and I only meant to watch 1 and I watched 4 and I looked at my watch and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not used to that. Good cross across the face of the goal. Goes for a goal kick. No one's gambling. Would I take Zakaria at United? Yes. Horkalek. Lampard's on the wheel, says Roger Q. I can't believe Chelsea spent 50 million on Chilwell though. But they're on the attack here. Cross comes in, Azpilicueta headed away. And Man City have approached their defending this season like they normally approach their attack. Very, very focused. Hi Mark, do you think Allegri could be the next Chelsea manager? Says Curtis. Yeah, actually he's a good candidate because he's free. I could imagine Allegri at Chelsea. Chelsea have got good Italian connections in the past, haven't they? So yeah, I could see Allegri. I'd probably go Allegri over Tuchel. I don't think I can see Tuchel. I can see at Arsenal and failing. Tuchel, I think he would just fail. So I think Allegri might be worth a more of a shout. Chelsea definitely need somebody. They've got the thing about Chelsea is they need somebody who can defend. A coach who can organise them defensively. They've definitely got enough attacking talent. They've got enough midfield talent as well. Lovely play by Kovacic. Best bit of play from there, and it goes wide for a goal kick. Bayern are losing 2-0 to Mainz at the moment, says Abby. I will be doing Football Manager at some point, Ninja Starman, yeah. When things settle down a bit, it's busy January because you've got the transfer window, loads of games. I'm still doing the FIFA career mode, but I will do some Football Manager because I like it. I do. I really do. Would you take David Alaba to United, says Ray and Darwich? 100%, yeah. I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea try and buy another centre-back because they've spent money on that back four and it's poor. It's really poor. I mean, look, Man City have been the better team, but you think back to the goals that City scored, every one of those are preventable. Man City will say they're good goals, but every one of them are preventable. FA Cup watch-alongs. I don't know, George, because I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the FA Cup anyway. I mean, this is what I think about the FA Cup. I'd be in two minds about doing an FA Cup final watch-along, let alone the third round where everyone's going to rest players. Sancho scored his first goal in the league today, says Majesty. Well, here's Man City, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Still half an hour to go in this game, Sarri's free, isn't he? Oh, that's a good cup of tea, that is. Even matches the... Well, it doesn't really. It's almost the same colour as Man City. Nagelsmann says Chelsea boy. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem. And look, we had this at United where... I always said give Solskjaer till May. Even when we got knocked out by Leipzig, I said give him till May because, wait a minute, Foden's in on the left-hand side. He's got options. He goes back to Zinchenko. I'll come back to that point in a minute about managers, but City on the attack here. No one putting a tackle in. All right, mess Chelsea. Still Man City here. De Bruyne lays it off to Gundogan. He might hit that. No, he goes wide. Bernardo Silva. Good block. Still got it. Satinder says he never gets stick because he's English. Facts. Talking about Lampard, I think. Lampard is just a rich Tim Sherwood, says Estarizo. Yeah, I mean, right, Man City are still knocking the ball about, but they're on the halfway line now. So, yeah, we had this with Man United. A lot of people wanted Ollie to be sacked after the Leipzig game and before, to be fair. It was going on for about 6 weeks before Christmas. And a lot, I do United stand, so a lot of people were like, why are you not Ollie out? I said, I don't think he's the right man, but I wouldn't sack him now. I'd wait till May, because where we are in the league, you've got to see where that's going to go. Also, you've got the Pogba thing going on. There's a transfer window. We've got no director of football still. I think it would be wrong to De Bruyne shoots wide. It would be wrong to change the manager at that point. And also, from United's point of view, we could have sacked Ollie then, and Pochettino would have took the job. But I just felt that it was worth waiting till May. It might be the same for Chelsea, because if they sacked Lampard tomorrow, well, you've got Allegri, you've got Tuchel. But if you wait till May, you might get Nagelsmann, who I think would be the best out of all of those. So you're not going to get Nagelsmann if you sack Lampard tomorrow. You're going to have to go for somebody who's available, and maybe get them on a short-term contract. I don't know, but you always used to get Gus Hiddink, didn't they, for 6 months? But so it might be worth sticking with Lampard. But then Abramovich might think, well, I'm not going to stick with Lampard because I still think we can get top 4 if we get a good manager in. So it's interesting what they might do. Thoughts on Arteta, says Sohel. Well, I've been quite vocal about Arteta. I think he's a good coach. I think he's at the start of his journey, and I just think Arsenal fans need to be patient. He might not work out, but I would be patient with him. I mean, look, people are saying Lampard or Arteta. ZX coming off. I'm sure there's plenty. I'm sure Arteta would love to have the resources that Chelsea have got. Does this worry for the United game, Mark? Says Tom Smith. I don't worry. Hudson-Odoi's coming on. I don't worry about things like that. I think I'm very excited about the game on Wednesday between United and City, because it will be a real good gauge as to how good we are. Kante comes off for Gilmour. Been poor, Kante, just not the player he was, is he? Really telling that Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno and Kane all in the EFL finals. What sort of statement would it make for each team if they won? Much love from Sydney, says Sir Jesms. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Carabao Cup, but I think from United's point of view, it would be good for us to win a trophy because it's winning. Pep always values the Carabao Cup, so you can't dismiss it because Man City take it very seriously. And I think Mourinho would value it because he wants to win a trophy for Spurs. They don't do that very often, and I think Mourinho is obsessed with winning a trophy. So it will be Spurs in the final. It should be them in the final. Against Brentford. I don't want to dismiss Brentford, but they're not favourites, are they? But no, going back to that United-Man City game, I mean, I hope City look a good team. So if we beat them, it just shows you the progress we've made. Now, Werner's on side here. But Man City have just got him on. Look at the swarming from Man City defensively. A terrible ball by Gilmour there. They just don't. The game plan of City has just been so superior to that of Chelsea. They've swarmed them on the defence. They've overran them on the attack. It's been a real strong performance from City, and probably one of the better performances I've seen this season. If you're looking for a team that might find some consistency and go and win the league, Man City looking good. Who do you think is going to win the league? I think Liverpool, says Gez. Liverpool are still my prediction. I said it at the start of the season, but the reason I wanted City to drop points today is for this reason. I think that they are more than capable of getting in a title race. Would you take the Chelsea job, Mark? Of course I would. I'd love to be a Premier League manager, but this ain't Football Manager. Kante under Conte was Team of the Year level. Kante under Sarri and Lampard is no better than McTominay, says Liam Dunn. Kante's a weird one. He's the sort of player you would never expect him to drop off because of the way he plays the game, the tenacity, the passion, the engine, and the ability. You just wouldn't expect a player like him. He's not a big-time Charlie player either, is he? You wouldn't expect his game to drop off as much as it has done. I mean, Dazis Game says Kante's finished. He's just dropped off massively. You wouldn't expect it. My best friend suggests we get Steve Bruce at United, says Ian. Well, he did a great job last week, Steve. I'm drinking tea at the moment. I'll have a beer in a bit. Remember, I do a little bit of a match reaction afterwards now. So it won't be a live one, but I do upload it after I've done this. A little summary. If you could take a Man City player and bring them to Man United, who would it be? Says Sean. It would have always been De Bruyne, but we've got Bruno now, so I'd take one of the defenders. I'd probably take I mean, I think, or you could take their right winger, Sterling, I suppose. I like Mahrez, but I'd probably take Laporte, to be honest with you. Although at the moment he doesn't even start, does he? Ruben Diaz is a player that we should have bloody got anyway. We were linked to Ruben Diaz loads of times from Benfica. I remember us being linked to Ruben Diaz when we had Mourinho. Like, why didn't we go and do that deal? I don't think De Bruyne and Bruno would work in the same midfield, to be fair. You'd have to have an amazing CDM to allow them two to play together. It's like Pogba and Pogba and Bruno, isn't it? But I think the good thing from City's point of view is that Chelsea just haven't created anything today. Here's Hudson-Odoi. He's got a score there. Well, he's took a bloody touch again. What is it about Chelsea and taking a touch? He's got to hit that first time. There has been times where they could have hit it first time. And he's took a touch. I don't know whether that's a coaching issue, but the Chelsea players just seem to want to take a touch instead of shooting. Have a shot. It's like being out on a stag night. Have a shot. Tequila. Anyway, Sterling, 2v2. Oh my God. He skipped past Silva like he wasn't even there then. I tell you what, if I was giving a mark out of 10 for Thiago Silva, I'd be giving him a 2. Imagine De Bruyne, says the Metal Mouse. Yeah, I think De Bruyne would be quite a good player, wouldn't he? $20 minutes to go. Here's Hudson-Odoi. He's done all right since he came on. I mean, I don't know what the story is with Hudson-Odoi. He's very well rated, isn't he? But again, he's just one of them players that doesn't seem to be able to establish himself. I think Reece James injured, isn't he? Late off to Kovacic. That should have gone a lot quicker. Yeah, Chelsea just got no rhythm. They got no rhythm in the final third. It's very... De Bruyne's gone down injured here. Didn't look like a fan. He's giving me a yellow card. I thought he got the bloody ball. Kovacic on De Bruyne. No, he didn't get anywhere near the ball, did he? Yellow card. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Let's see how we're doing on that front. On the road to 300k in the year to 2021. Doesn't work, does it? We're 100 subscribers away from 283,500. So thanks everyone who has subscribed and got involved. We are doing Liverpool versus Southampton tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. It's actually at Southampton. How United play against City will be quite interesting, I agree. There was a comment there from San saying, how do you think we'll play against City? I would hope we won't play a back five if we've got Eric Bailly. Thoughts on Sancho stinker today? I know he got a goal, but he was crap all game. Would you still take him? His attitude stinks, is Kieran United. Manchester United still want him, mate. So I wouldn't... I like Sancho, but I'm concerned about the obsession that United have got of getting Sancho. Isaac Marley says you have to Liverpool break the curse because we're playing them in a few weeks. Exactly, Isaac Marley. Morgan, thanks for the super chat there. Welcome to the Members Club Blue FT216. Yeah, these people saying don't watch Liverpool tomorrow because they always win when you watch them. Man United are playing them in a couple of weeks. That's exactly why I'm going to watch them. We need to break that curse, that jinx. Robbie Townsend says, we were in poor form when Arsenal beat us, then Arsenal were in poor form and seem to have given that to Chelsea. Would not want to be the next team who loses to Chelsea. Good point. But I think the way Chelsea are playing at the moment, I think any team will fancy their chances. They're just not creating chances, Chelsea. And last season... they created loads of chances, and it was like, well, if they had a really good forward, they buy Timo Werner, and they're not creating anything. What's the difference between this Chelsea side and last season? What is it in their midfield and attack that's different? Who's the centre-back you want Manchester United to buy, says Ryan K. If I could have anybody, it'd be Alaba. And I like Koundé at Sevilla, but we won't. They're too expensive. I think United won't go for those. Mohammed says, are you getting nervous for the semi-finals? No, I always look forward to these games. I always look forward to the bigger games. It's what you want to watch football for. You want to see your team being tested, don't you? So... McCarthy's out for the Liverpool game, says Lamar Moore. That's the goalkeeper, isn't it? Here's Chelsea with Azpilicueta on the right-hand side. Gets it into Hudson-Odoi, who's looks like a player to me who just takes too many touches. Be the microwave. I've seen the tweet, mate. I'll do something as soon as I finish this stream. Disgusting, isn't it? I do remember the Koulibaly rap, Ryan. And thoughts on Mendy? We are moving. Tonali got a red card earlier, says Antoine Muller. Mark's in the pub having it Sunday roast. I wish I was in the bloody pub. You can't be in a pub. Thoughts on Salah to Madrid, says Noobs. I just think those sort of things are very difficult in this COVID world now to do. Would you take Hudson-Odoi at United, says Kaz? No. I think he's a player that just seems to take too many touches, and that's infuriating. You want somebody with a bit of a final touch, don't you, and a bit of creativity. And I think Chelsea have been very, very, very infuriating. Lampard's record against the top six is horrendous, says Jagrishan. And thanks for the super chat. Do you think Ollie would have made United reach Liverpool's levels if he got the financial backing that Lampard got in the transfer window? Says Aditya. Well, no, I don't think that. I think, look, let's not run away with Solskjaer. He's doing really well, but I still think he's a work in progress. Jurgen Klopp is the finished thing. Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, they're the real deal, aren't they? They're at the top of their game. I think Solskjaer is progressing, hopefully, to that level. And people say, well, he's been a coach for years, but that's not really what I'm looking at. I'm looking at has he been a coach of a top club for years? He's still very much learning on the role. John Stones has just dived into the stands. There's no fans there, John. He's out now. Kovacic has come off. I would have took him off a long time ago. And Havertz comes on with 15 minutes to go. And it just amazes you when you see these sort of substitutions, because it's like, what's that going to do in the context of this game? What's that going to change? Is Havertz going to come and change this game around in 15 minutes? It's a weird one. I don't imagine this isn't real. I don't know. What do you think of Arsenal? No. They miss Willian, says Mark Holt. Imagine if Fergie was still around. Klopp versus Sir Alex and Pep. What an amazing rivalry that would have been, says Mustang Motive. Yeah, I've often thought of that. It's a good point. Arsenal can now be above Chelsea. Well, not necessarily, because you've not, Chelsea have got a game in hand on you, haven't they? I think they're still 3 points ahead of you, and you've played a game more, or you've played the same games. Chelsea got 26 points, 17 played. Arsenal got 23 points, 17 played. Yeah, you're right. They're 3 points behind them. You are right. Why is Werner still on the field? What's your top four at this moment, says Ethan Strawn. You know what? I would start to readdress my top four now. My prediction at the start of the season was Liverpool win the league, Chelsea second, Man City third, and United fourth. I don't see how Chelsea are going to get second place now. I mean, look, anything can happen, but I do not think Chelsea can get into the top three spots now. They might be able to get fourth, but so I'd probably need to redress my top four, because Chelsea aren't going to get second, are they? Let's be honest. What time's the darts start, Gilberto? Just Presh says that Pulisic is class. I think Pulisic is massively frustrating. I really do. I think he's really frustrating. He just holds on to the ball too much. Did you watch Bruno's Man United podcast, says Jack Denton? No. When's Traore coming, says Finn McCullough. Apparently he's flying in tomorrow. And again, why is he bringing on Havertz with 15 minutes to go, says Blue FT216. I'd start from the beginning because we need creativity. Crossing the box, inshallah. My word, I want to vomit tonight. Hard for Chelsea fans, really hard. They needed something today. They didn't need a loss. They were in a bit of a mess coming into this game with their recent form. And as I said, they ain't going to be turning this round with 10 minutes to go. So it'll be 4 Premier League losses in the last 6 Premier League games. 1 win in the last 6 Premier League games. It's poor form, and I think we'll all be watching with interest as to whether Chelsea decide enough is enough with Lampard. As I said, you look at Chelsea under Abramovich, any other manager would have been sacked by now, whether it's Mourinho or Ranieri or whoever, they would have sacked them. I don't get the feeling they're going to sack Lampard, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Bayern have got a goal back. If you're interested, it's 2-1. Cross comes in. Header. Terrible header. Pulisic. Wide. How's your fantasy Premier League coming along? I don't play it, mate. I do play it, but I haven't changed my team in 6 weeks. However, I do know that I've got Phil Foden in my team, so my points this week are probably quite big. I've got 81 points. I've got 81 points. Foden's got me 11. Kane, Son, Fernandes, Cherney got me 18. I've got another 5 on the bench because Traore got an assist, and yeah, so 81 points ain't that bad. And I haven't changed my team in weeks. So not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for the contribution, Shagon91. Jake Evans, where will Man United finish? We'll be talking about on the United stand tonight. I do think that this result puts City right into the mix again. It's not. I think a lot of people think it's Liverpool versus United for the title. It's not. Look at City now. They win their next few games and their game is in hand and they're right up at the top. I watched something funny on Instagram. Arsenal fans praising Xhaka as the best youngster in the league and even better than Greenwood, says Tariq. Mate, I got sent a thumbnail last night from an interview that Robbie did on AFTV with an Arsenal fan. And it was something a lie about that Rose Smith-Jones, whatever his bloody name is like Xavi. And I was like, this is why your club is banter. Like, this is why your club is banter. You've beaten West Brom. And look, West Brom did get a point against Liverpool, but they got smashed by Leeds 5-0. West Brom are trash, and you've got a young player playing who's now the next Xavi, and you've got yourself back in a title race. And I just laugh. I laugh because I think, one, how does Robbie hold that mic up and not laugh? And two, if you are a normal Arsenal fan, it must infuriate you. It must absolutely infuriate you, the banter that gets delivered on your club by some of your fans with this nonsense, the absolute nonsense. They'll lose again in the next few weeks and they'll all be Arteta out again. And it's like they've got no idea about rebuilding. They don't know how to rebuild. You see, you're either happy because you've won or you want the manager out because you've lost. They've got no concept that they're probably going to have to go through 2 years of progression where you win some, you lose some. But no. We have one good game against West Brom and this young lad that no one's really ever heard of is now the next Xavi. It's ridiculous. I personally wouldn't have even put the video up on the United stand. I'd be like, that is a load of embarrassment. I'm not putting that up. But which Leicester player would you take for United? There's a few I'd take from Leicester. Ricardo Pereira when he's fit. I'd have him as a backup right back. I like that. What's his name? His name's completely gone. Is it Fofana? I like him. And Diddy, of course. I wouldn't mind Jamie Vardy as a striker off the bench, maybe even a starter, but certainly off the bench. But Leicester have bought really, really well for years. I wouldn't bother with Maddison anymore. And here's Chelsea with a chance. Surely they've got to create a good chance here. Chilwell, cross comes in, goes for a corner. And Man City hunting down clean sheets here. Remember, Manchester City this season have only conceded 12 goals. They are comfortably the best defence in the league. Comfortably the best defence in the league. The next best side is Spurs, who've conceded 15. So Man City are not, averaging less than a goal a game. That's going to be interesting on Wednesday against United. Bayern have equalised, says LFC 1892. Well, one thing we're not going to be saying tonight is a Chelsea equaliser. That is not going to happen. Mason Mount gets it in there. Here's Havertz. Blocked shot. Who's your man of the match? I think De Bruyne has had a good game, despite me saying he's a Poundland Bruno. Aguero's going to come on and Mahrez. Not a bad couple of substitutions to make, is it? Not bad. We're 34 subscribers away from 283,500. So please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can hit that before full time. Remember, I am going to do a match reaction after this as well. So if you subscribe and you get your notifications on, you will get that. I've got nearly 5,000 likes on the video, which is fantastic. Thanks everyone who has been tuning in. And remember, I am going to do Southampton-Liverpool tomorrow night. If you enjoy the watch-alongs, you can join us for that one. Mark, play Rocket League. I wouldn't mind playing a bit of Rocket League, but I think I'd be a frustrating player. Gundogan gets it wide. Cancelo with the cross. Mendy holds on to that. Well, I suppose the positive for Chelsea is that they've conceded a half. I'm just putting a tweet out, sorry. Who remembers that? I think it was Ollie, actually, against City when we played them in... I think it might have been the Carabao Cup game at Old Trafford. They battered us in the first half, but I think we scored in the second half. And I'm pretty sure he came out after the game and said, well, the positive is that we won the second half. You're just like... That was around the time it was getting really bad with Ollie. This was before Bruno, so it would have been... We lost to Burnley around that time, and it was like, it's nearly over. Here's Hudson-Odoi. He's held onto the ball for too long there as well. He's given it to Werner in a shit position. And Werner wins a corner. But Chelsea they're not moving the ball quick enough. Everyone's taking an extra touch all the time. Oh, Werner's just kicked the corner flag. God, footballers these days, they are so pampered. He's literally kicked the corner flag, then the ball. And he's walking around like he's really hurt. I mean, you do that on a Sunday morning football all the bloody time. You just carry on. Might miss him out with the cross. Cleared away. Nice takedown by Hudson-Odoi. Aspilicueta's got it on the right-hand side. Into Werner. And that should go for another corner, will it? No, throw in. Yeah, you can tell he just wants to get off the pitch. Heads are down for Chelsea. This is where, actually, somebody said it at half-time and we haven't discussed it and it's absolutely spot on. Chelsea lack leadership. United lacked it before we got Bruno in. If you haven't got leadership, it's really difficult because... where's the person? I said this about Chelsea a couple of weeks ago as well. Where's the personality on that pitch that's guiding the ship? Now, I think Thiago Silva's the captain, isn't he? But, I mean, really, should he be the captain? He's not performing. He's only just come to the club. We've had the same thing with Maguire, but, the reality is that Chelsea side lacks leadership. Big time. And you can see it. They look lost. They don't have any identity as a side. They've got a lot of good players, but Aspilicueta's actually the captain, isn't he? But they lack leadership. And look, they've been hunted down here. Good tackle by Thiago Silva there. Werner gets it wide to Pulisic. See, he's held onto the ball too long there. Havertz is like, give me the bloody ball. Pulisic is infuriating. Very good player, but he holds on to the ball for too long. He should be getting that into the feet of Havertz. And Havertz is like, oh my God. Aspilicueta is the captain, yeah. Diallo's posted that he's on a plane to Manchester, which is good. He could be training tomorrow. Pulisic again. We're 100 likes away from 5,000. So if you haven't liked the video, please do put a like on it. It'd be nice to hit 5,000, wouldn't it? And make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We will be doing a match reaction after this that I'll upload. I don't do them live because it's just a little 5-minute thing. But we are 30 subscribers away from 283,500. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We are doing Liverpool versus Southampton tomorrow night as well. So you're welcome to get involved with that. But, fair play to Man City. Defensively very good. Attacking-wise, they could have scored 4 or 5. Chelsea wouldn't have scored if they played till next Christmas. Although they'll probably score now. Oh, they've just scored. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Chelsea have just scored. Hudson-Odoi, what a prat. It was actually a well-worked goal. He's well onside. And you know why Chelsea scored? Because they moved the ball quick. Havertz with the cross, Hudson-Odoi, they moved the ball quick. Well done to Chelsea. It's a good goal. And it's something they haven't done all game. They move the ball quick and they score a goal, which is what I was just about to say. I said they wouldn't. I was going to say they wouldn't score till Christmas unless they move the ball quicker, which they did. Which I wasn't going to say really. So 3-1. City be disappointed with that to concede a goal late on. You know, their defensive record is something to be proud of, and bit of a silly goal to concede late on. But Chelsea make it 3-1. There you go. And it's over. There you go. It finishes 3-1. Very good win for Manchester City. Very bad loss for Chelsea. I think Man City are going to be in a title race very, very soon. If you look at their next 5 games, they will win them all. And with Man United playing Liverpool, they could well be top by the end of January. So watch out. Man City definitely going to be in a title race. And actually, top 4 is looking very, very difficult for teams like Chelsea now because the gap is starting to open up. I'll talk more about that on my match reaction. Thanks everyone for watching the live stream. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Smash a like on the video and I will do a match reaction which will go up in the next few minutes. Remember, we're next live tomorrow with Liverpool against Southampton. Watch along as well. Speak to you all in a bit.